What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Raleigh, and this is my first, I guess, official video. So I have another channel with me and my wife, and she be doing whatever. So I decided that I was going to make my own channel and do my own thing and see how that goes. So welcome to my channel. All right, so I thought about it because I've been wanting to do YouTube for so long, and I just couldn't find my stench. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I mean, I had topics and thought about some things, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, so I started watching a few YouTubers that I liked and I was real interested in, and I kind of felt like, I think I know what I could do. So I decided that I'm gonna do Sinful Sundays. And you know what? That's just stuff that happened through the week, like gossip, because I think that's really what I want to do at the end of the day. I think I want to be like a blogger or like a newscaster, somewhere in that form. So I'm gonna try that out for Sinful Sundays. My next one is Pretty and Locked Up. That's gonna be on Tuesdays. So yes, I was locked up, and baby, do I have some stories to tell. Oh God. But that was a long time ago. And lastly, I'm going to do Wicked Wednesdays. And Wicked Wednesdays is, I'm from Philly, so it's a lot of stuff that happen in Philly. A lot of people go missing, a lot of people get murdered. And I felt like, you know, I watch all these YouTubers and these crime shows, and they talk about how this person went missing out here and this person went missing out here. But Philly we don't get no buzz. Like, no buzz at all. So I thought about Wicked Wednesdays is I would pick a person that was from Philly that something happened to them, like they got murdered or they went missing, and I would just, you know, put their story out there. So I do have one person that I have been doing a lot of research on. So I'm getting that together, and I'm gonna make you guys a video on that. So back to me. So like I said, I'm from Philly. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I work for the city, and I'm just me. I'm a happy person. I like to smile. I like to laugh. I like to talk. I like to tell stories. And I felt like the best way to do that is on YouTube. I did make a video on my other page with my wife, my hair video. I did a hair tutorial on the Remington flat irons. So what I'll probably do is take some of the videos that I have off my page, off me and my wife page, that was just me, and bring it over to my page. I have another video on there because a few weeks ago, but right before Thanksgiving, I was almost kidnapped. You know, everybody was talking about the white van situation and, you know, women getting kidnapped. And honestly, I didn't take it seriously because I kind of felt like, I don't know, you know how when you're not in a situation, you don't think too much of it until you're put in that situation, and you're like, oh yeah, da 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 da. So that's kind of what happened to me. I was getting air at Wawa, and I had my daughter and my son in the car. My daughter was in the front seat. She had her headphones on, and my son was in the back seat. So I was like, well, let me just put air in this tire real quick, not thinking nothing of it. Before I got to the air pump, it was a van in front of me. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm just like, all right, we playing the music, we talking, we laughing. So the van moves, and I pull up to the air pump. So I think I was there probably for like maybe a minute and a half. I had already started putting air in the tire. So my son was like, Mom, can I help you? So I was like, well, I'm done. I was like, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put air in the other back tire so that just in case, because it seemed like it was getting low. So I'm like, wait, you could do the back tire. So he gets out. He's putting the air in the tire. So while he's putting the air in the tire, next thing you know, a white van comes and cuts me off catty corner. So I'm parked this way. and he rides up. So he like got the car cut, like locked in. I couldn't go in front, and it was just enough space for me to back out. So I thought that was awkward, because my thing is, if you getting air, why didn't you park behind me like everybody else? Now, mind you, where I was getting air from, it's nothing over there. Like, it's bushes and it's grass, but it's away from Wawa. It's not in their parking lot. So I'm like, what the hell? So he hops out the car. I don't know if he's on the phone or if he's talking to somebody else that's in a car, but he's talking in Russian and he's talking fast. And mind you, it's dark outside. So I'm like, oh no, this don't feel right. So I'm yelling at my son, get in the car. So he's like, Mom, I'm not finished putting air in the tire. I'm like, listen, get in the car. I'm screaming, get in the car. Now, mind you, this man is digging in his front seat. He like digging for something. And I'm like, I don't got time for this. Like, I'm not, it's not about to happen. So he grabbed something. And to me, I'm going to say it looked like handcuffs. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were. Maybe they was keys. But it looked like handcuffs. So my son ran in front of the car. And I ran behind the car. And I just dropped the air thing. Because when I told him to run, I grabbed the air pump. And I was going to put it back. But I'm like, fuck this shit. I dropped the air pump. I got in the car. And I literally had just enough room to back out. Like, just enough room. And I damn near had to hop the little curb. So my heart beating fast. My daughter is cracking up because she wasn't paying attention. My car is tinted out. So you can't see in, you can't see out. So she laughing. She like, Mom, what are you doing? What's so funny? So I'm like, you wasn't paying attention. I'm like, this man almost kidnapped me and your brother and you ain't even paying attention. So as we doing that, I ride past and I noticed that one of my cousins was parked at the gas station. He was literally getting out the car. So I rolled over to him. I'm like, yo, cousin, like, da-da-da-da-da. So he like, what? So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, over there. So I pointed to the van. So he like, yo, what? Like, yo. So he went over to the guy, like pulled up on him and everything. Now, mind you, he pulled up where I was at. So he like looking at the guy, like, you know, seeing what's going on. The guy ain't getting no air. He hopped in that car and he rolled right off. So my cousin called me and he was like, you all right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He was like, yeah, boy, weird. Like, he ain't even say nothing. I'm like, and he ain't get no air, did he? He was like, no, he ain't get no air. I'm like, what the hell? So, you know, of course, my cousin, older guy, he like, you know, be careful out here. Pay attention, you know, gave me the speech or whatever. I'm like, I know. Like, I got definitely paid better attention. And what's crazy is that's not even the first time that's happened to me. That's not the second time that's happened to me. This is the third time that I was almost kidnapped or attacked or whatever you want to call it. This is the second time that it was at Wawa. The first time that I was almost kidnapped or attacked, I should say, was I walked to Wawa. I had my dog. I had my daughter. She was on her bike. My son was walking next to me. And then I had my nephew who was in a stroller. So it was a nice day. We walking, talking, went and got the kids some snacks. And when I was at Wawa, I seen this African guy talking to this cop. And he was kind of like arguing with him. But it was none of my business. So I kept walking. Like, so we got like maybe like it was about 2.5 blocks away from the Wawa. So I see the African guy walking. He walking real fast. And he like walking up behind me. So he like, hey. And start trying to like ask me all these questions. So I'm like, oh, okay. First of all, I barely could understand what he was saying. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know. Yeah, and he like, oh, you know, how old is your son? And I'm like, why? He like, oh no, I was just asking. And I'm like, okay. So he comes in between me and my son. To the point where like my son had to like double step because he kind of like almost pushed him out of the way. Now, mind you, it's my son, the dog, and then me and my nephew. And I got my hand on the stroller, and then I got my arm on the leash, and then my son is holding on to the leash because he wanted to walk the dog, but my dog was strong. So he like came in between us to the point where my son had to let go of the leash. So he is trying to make me let go of the dog. So I'm like, yo, what is you doing? Like, get off of me. And mind you, I'm still trying to hold the stroller. So he like kind of like tussling with me. And I'm like screaming, like, get away from me. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and I'm like snapping, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Da, 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 da. So it just so happened that it was this man and this woman sitting on a step. And I think they was drinking or smoking or something. And they heard me yelling, and they got up and they ran over, and they like, leave her alone, get away from her. So they like picking up these bottles, because they had like this container and they had like all these bottles in it. And they're like throwing it, like, get away from her, get away. And they screaming, and I'm like, oh my God. So he like, stop. Like, and he just haul ass, just take off down the street. So the lady and the man come up to her and they ask, and I said, we okay? And I'm like, you know, yeah, we fine. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And they like, yeah, be careful. And so I called my wife, and I'm like telling her she hates when I walk. Like, and I like walking. Like, to me, it's relaxful. I like to walk and, you know, look around and enjoy the breeze or whatever. And she hates when I walk. So, of course, she called me, why you didn't drive? You always walking somewhere. I'm like, it was a nice day. Wawa is like 5 blocks from my house. Why not? So, of course, I had to hear that. And, you know, don't be walking nowhere. Blase. So, I'm like, all right. So, that was probably like maybe 3 years ago. So, then Thanksgiving, that was the situation with the Uber driver. I mean, with the Russian guy. So maybe last year. Yeah, last year, my wife was working at a strip club. So, and no, she's not a stripper. My wife is she's a security guard. She's the people when you go in the bar and they pat you down and all that. So she was working there, and she was like, babe, come down here with me. I'm bored. So I'm like, all right. I was like, I'm gonna catch an Uber, because she had the car. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna catch an Uber. So she was like, all right. So she was like, how long is it gonna take you? So I was like, well, let's say 7 minutes. So she was like, all right. So I get in the car, and it's a black guy. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? So he like, hi. So I'm like, okay, this finna be awkward. So we pull off, and he got the phone up on the little mount. So he's looking at it, you know, seeing where I'm going. Now, mind you, I drive for Uber, so I understand when somebody is looking at the direction. Because my thing is, if I could take a faster route, or if I know how to get there without the GPS, then I'll do that. So I didn't really think too much of it when he was looking to see where I was going. Now, all he had to do was jump on a boulevard. Instead, he took a completely different way. So I'm like, hey, I'm just going straight down a boulevard. So he ain't say nothing. Now, mind you, the whole time we in the car, he looking at me in the mirror, just kept looking back. So I'm on the door like, what the hell? Like, if I carry my bag like this. I'm like, if I gotta jump out, I'm out. Like, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Like, so I had texted my wife, and I was like, listen, this is the Uber driver. This is the car. I'm like, I gave her all the information from the Uber ride. I also texted one of my girlfriends, and I was like, listen, I'm in this car. That's where I'm going. I sent her the same information. I said, if you don't hear from me in 10 minutes, call Marcia. So she was like, all right. So then we driving, and I'm like getting nervous now, because I'm like, he not saying nothing, but he's still looking at me. He just was making me feel real, real awkward. I'm like, this ain't finna work. So we get to the location. Now, on the map, it says to make a left, and the drop-off was right there. So when we was at the light, I was like, don't worry about it. I can get out right here. So I went to go open the door, and he didn't unlock the door. And the door went open. So I'm like, hey, I can get out right here. I'm like, I'm good. So he's just sitting there like this, looking at me in the mirror. And I'm like, hey, excuse me. I'm like, let me call my wife. Like, now mind you, my wife is literally catty cornered, and she's standing outside looking at the car. Now, mind you, like I said, she do security. So she got her bulletproof vest on. She got her gun on her hip. You know, she like she about to go do a tactical job, something like that. So I'm like, listen, he's not in. Look, I'm not finna play. I'm like, I'm right here, babe. So he looking at me. So she like, why you not get out of the car? So next thing you know, he unlocks the door. I hopped out that car so fast. I'm like, yo, like, this not finna happen tonight. Like, so I get over to her. Of course, I run over to her. I'm like telling her what happened. I'm like, blase, blase. He's still sitting there. This man then rolled his window down and he's staring at me. So I didn't want to go in the location because I'm like, and then I didn't want to go get in my car because I didn't want him to know what kind of car I drove. So me and my wife just standing there, and I'm like, yo, like, this is awkward. I'm like, what should I do? Like, I don't know what to do. So she was like, just stand right here. Like, he come over here, he gonna get dealt with. I'm like, oh God. So he just sitting there. Next thing you know, the light is about to turn red, and he just skirts off, and he did this wide turn that he almost hit the car that was parked on a corner and just sped off. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, so I went and put my stuff in the car, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, yo, this shit was crazy. Like, and like I said, I drive for Uber, so that just put me in like an uncomfortable space, because now I know how people feel when they be like, I had this crazy guy when I was in Uber, or I was going here and this such and such. And I'm thinking, and I know everybody's not like me, but I'm like damn, like, I know I wouldn't be wanting to be in a situation like that. So I just was like, this is crazy. So I didn't take an Uber for a while, and it's crazy because I work downtown. So my wife always be like, oh, I'm gonna get you an Uber, or I'm gonna get you a Lyft. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I'll just catch the bus, because there's no point in me, I'm not gonna drive downtown. There's nowhere to park. So, I could just hop on the train and then, catch the bus to go home. And she's like, well, I don't understand why you would rather go on, public transportation. And I'm like, it's people, I'm around people. So if anything happened, I'm surrounded by people. Whereas though, if I'm in an Uber ride, and sometimes I was getting off at like 8 o'clock at night, I'm coming from downtown, going all the way up to Northeast. Anything can happen. So, I really, and I'm not saying that stuff does happen, but then, you see all this stuff happening online. I'm like, I'm gonna take a break, or I'm not gonna take Uber as much. Like, if I really need to take it, then I'll take Uber. But I was just feeling like uncomfortable for a while. Like, I've never been put in that type of situation, so I've never had to feel like that. So, those are my 3 almost kidnapped stories. My wife was like, you do not have the best of luck at Wawa. And I'm like, and you know what? You always want me to go to Wawa and get you some damn ice. So I'm always at Wawa. So, yeah, that was my crazy story. If you see any movement, that's because my wife is sleeping behind me. And now she moves. She's back there watching Netflix. I made her go back there so that she wouldn't be in my video. But anyway, so like I said, my name is Raleigh. This is my new page. And like I said, I'm going to be doing Sinful Sundays. I'm going to be doing Pretty and Locked Up Tuesdays and Wicked Wednesdays. So if you guys want to see more of me, just hit the subscribe button, like, comment, even hit the bell. Like, let's get this on and popping. Like, I know y'all gonna wanna watch the videos on Tuesdays, the Pretty and Locked Up videos, because everybody always asks me, like, how was that like? What happened? And I'm gonna get down and dirty with it. I'm gonna put it out there. It took me a long time to get where I am with this situation. And I always felt like I wanted to talk about it, but I just didn't know how. And now I kind of feel like I have the platform to do it. So why not? I mean, honestly, it's not going to hurt. It was almost 15 years ago. Was it? 17. It's about a good 13 years. Because I went back in 2007. Yeah, so it's been a while. It's over and done with. You know, it can't nothing come and bite me in the ass now. So, you know. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching my first official video. Again, my name is Raleigh. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you guys later.